Priya Kumar. Can we have a big round of applause for her, please? Welcome, Priya.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you very much. You said captain of the ship. So I just wonder whether we are taking off or drowning.
I just gave the water evacuation bit, just so that in
Okay.
case there's any confusion.
Okay,
So, welcome.
Thank you. And this is Raja Sanyal. He is, actually I met him at a workshop. He works in a multinational bank. He's the marketing head. He's told me not to name the bank because he's here in his own personal capacity. So in my talk, if I just mention a bank, it's not that bank. Okay, so I don't get into trouble. And I met him a few years ago, I think 5 or 6 years ago. And I thought he spoke very well, doesn't he? Yeah? At least say yes, he's still here only. Yeah? I'm so happy. Well, Raja has a whole welcome planned for you. So if and he's worked very hard at
No,
it.
you can be here. It's okay. Once you're on stage, you can
Okay, we can be here.
No formalities. It's okay. The flight is going to crash anyway. so it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
please. He's asking me.
Okay. So, how many of you feel she started speaking very early? And how many of you feel she didn't?
They're
Okay.
no longer interested in you, Raja.
I know.
They totally lost interest in him.
Okay. So, I think I'm just going to read out a little secret of Priya and then we're going to get into the stuff with Sonu. Okay. So, she won her first national writing competition when हर घड़ी बदल रही है भूख जिंदगी पाव है कहीं कहीं सूप जिंदगी हर पल यहाँ पी कर जियो जो है खाना आज ही खा लो क्योंकि कल हो न होना Okay. So
I should give this to मैं लिख के देना मैं जावेद जी को कल सुबह भेजने वाला हूँ
अच्छा ठीक है मैं उसके आगे सिर्फ लिख के दूंगा नाम पता कुछ नहीं देने वाला मैं
वो ढूंढ लेंगे
Thank you. So Sonu, I believe you've read all of Priya's books. Is that true?
एक भी नहीं पढ़ी मैंने
So मुझे एक चीज बताइए आपने प्रिया के बुक में ना एक कमेंट दिया था Reading Priya is an ongoing healing effect. Can you please explain? I mean, what were you thinking when you wrote that?
ये बात सिर्फ प्रिया समझ पाएगी she will be understand what I'm saying not just Priya but the people who know all of us together they also know I would say I'm the privileged one who doesn't need as of now and of course I will when I'm destined to I'm one of the privileged ones who doesn't need to read the book to know the writer I know the writer I've read the writer I've read her soul I've read what she is music is my side business actually मेरा मेन काम लाइफ में है लोगों को ऑब्जर्व करना और जो मेरे आसपास हैं वो जानते हैं कि मैं ऐसा करता हूँ and that is why I have a very very beautiful collection of people around me I'm rich by the people I know there are a lot of people sitting over here जो जानते हैं मैं किन की बात कर रहा हूँ तो मैं बहुत अमीर हूँ उन लोगों की वजह से जो मेरी ज़िंदगी को इतना अच्छा बनाते हैं प्रिया keeps a very very important position in my life she is one of the most pristine souls I've met in my whole life and anything coming out from anything any creative stuff coming out of a person like this a soul like this has to be on another level I always say that whether it's music, whether it's books, whether it's dance, whether it's filmmaking, you don't need to, know the director personally by, if you just watch the film, आपको मालूम पड़ जाएगा कि डायरेक्टर के अंदर कितनी गहराई है कितना सोच है अगर जो फेवलेस डायरेक्टर्स होंगे वो आपके सामने एक फेवलेस फिल्म पेश कर देंगे आपको मालूम पड़ेगा कि इस आदमी ने सोचा है इस पर गहन अध्ययन किया है इसीलिए इसकी फिल्म हमें सोचने पर मजबूर करती है सो इट्स कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री आई फील जो डायरेक्टर को नहीं जानते वो फिल्म लेके जान जाएंगे जो डायरेक्टर को जानते हैं उनको फिल्म देखने की जरूरत नहीं, क्योंकि वो जानते हैं कि डायरेक्टर कौन सा है. सो मेरे लिए पहले मुझे बहुत वक्त होता था फिल्म किताबें पढ़ने का, लेकिन अब ऐसा हो गया कि आई एम अ वेरी गुड कलेक्टर ऑफ बुक्स, बट आई सेल्डम गेट अ चांस टू रीड बुक्स. बट आई एम जस्ट लकी दैट आई नो प्रिया सो वेल. हमने बहुत डिस्कशंस किए हैं लाइफ में, और इनका ऑरा ही इतना पीसफुल है, इतना काम है कि मैं इनसे बहुत इम्प्रेस्ड रहता हूँ कि ये बहुत ज़िंदगी को भरपूर जीती हैं. शी लीड्स अ वेरी फुल लाइफ, वेरी रिस्पेक्टेबल लाइफ, वेरी डिग्निफाइड लाइफ. somebody who can inspire you just by being around. She doesn't need to pretend, she doesn't need to say bigger things, she doesn't need to use anything for effect. तो इनमें ये सब खासियतें हैं, इसलिए, और ये मैं जानता हूँ, ये मैं मानता हूँ कि किताब जब मैं पढ़ूंगा तो मुझे और भी कुछ पहलू मालूम पड़ेंगे. फिलहाल एक ऐसा है मेरे अंदर से वो आवाज़ नहीं आई कि मैं बैठ के अभी किताबें पढ़ना शुरू करूँ बहुत सारी. आई एम टू कॉट अप विद माय ओन वर्क एंड देयर इज सम अदर स्टडी दैट आई एम डूइंग राइट नाउ. एज आई से, दिस वन लाइफ इज वेरी less for to do all the things that you want to do in life, and you know how I am. I'm slightly crazy about learning new things, and I'm now learning ukulele, the Hawaiian guitar. I just started learning guitar, थोड़ा सा मुझे आ चुका है. Then so there are other things, aspects in my life. Yesterday was my second day of squash, so I'm doing too many things to write the shit and indulge in the book. So please forgive me. As far as Priya is concerned, I will one day definitely read her books. But when I said that reading Priya would be healing for the soul, I meant it from the other level.
No, absolutely. I think what he's saying is so true. Tell me, any one of you, have you ever seen Priya tired? She's always glowing, bubbly, chirpy. I mean, that comes from what Sonu is actually saying. You can't pretend that. So even when you're stressed, you're still glowing when you're happy and you're smiling. So I think that's the unique feature. Sir.
Exactly. How wonderfully he has tapped into this thing. You meet people, and it's really normal for people like us also. Maybe I think I have a lot of energy, but there are times when I actually just बस यार बहुत थक गया यार, अभी सोना है बस जाके. ये चीज कभी प्रिया से आप सुनेंगे नहीं. You can never imagine Priya saying something like this. Oh my God, I just want to sleep right now. Even if she has to say this, she will say this looking so untired.
Correct.
बोले झूठ बोल रही है कि कहाँ टायर्ड होगी, तो और भी कुछ कर सकती है क्लास. So that is one beautiful thing about her. She is consistently positive. हाँ ना, selectively नहीं है, किसी से पॉजिटिव किसी से नहीं.
ऊपर वाले की मेहर है, ये सबको नसीब नहीं होता.
ये God's gift है. God's gift है.
So now I hope you all understood what 200% means. So that's Priya. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So Priya, I think there's some kind of a mutual admiration society that's going on between the two of you. Sonu says that you've got a healing effect. You dedicate to Sonu that he's got a healing effect. Are you guys planning to start some wellness center or something?
मुझे पता नहीं why does she dedicate the books to me. I still do not know what does she. और मैं every time she says this, मेरा सर झुक जाता है नतमस्तक होके, क्योंकि मैं I don't live in a fool's paradise. I know she's a very superior woman than me. She's a superior soul than me. And उसके बाद ये मुझे इतनी इज्जत देती है, इसके लिए तो मैं और उनका शुक्रगुजार रहता हूँ. And I meet her every time with much more respect and responsibility. Maybe she does this, she's sent in my life to make me feel more responsible and inspire me to be a better human being.
You know, Sonu, मुझे सबरी ब्रदर्स का एक लाइन याद आता है. सबरी ब्रदर्स है, जितना दिया सरकार ने मुझको उतनी मेरी औकात नहीं, वो तो कर्म उनका है, वरना मुझ में ऐसी कोई बात ही नहीं. सरकार.
No, actually. No, what are you all talking? No, the earlier version was better.
Okay, so
he was making the jokes.
So, are we ready now? So, what we're going to do is we're going to get into a round of question answers. We're going to start with a rapid question round, and then I'm going to go and take that seat there, and we're going to get into the serious discussion. So, are we ready? Are we ready? Next project will be.
My next project will be. I'm not pretty sure about it because I don't know if you're clued into the film industry or not, but I have picked up a cause for the implementation of the performing rights for singers and all, which has actually isolated me single-handedly because I've been the front runner for this cause. So I cannot disclose any song unless it's released, because most of my songs last year have been redubbed by singers, other singers, and at the behest of certain people who thought that this is the right thing to do. So unfortunately, I can't tell you what my next song is, because I don't know what the next project is going to be like. But yes, of course, independent music is happening, and something we'll start working on an independent album with Saregama, HMV, and me and Vikram Ghosh ji as the partners and composers. That's happening. With film music, I'm not pretty sure of.
Okay. You want to talk us through about your Oscar nomination? How does it feel?
It was a shortlist nomination. Oscar में इस साल 7,000 entries थे. उसमें से suddenly we found ourselves in the first 115. When we went to the advance list, which was the last 30 nomination, without any studio backup, big studio, huge backup, the studios normally keep about $5 to $10 million for PR and publicity for Oscars, and we had no studio support. We were independent producers. The movie was independent film without any big producers. अरे वाह, कॉफी लिया, very good. और क्या लाएंगे आप? Sorry, yes, yes. मुझे नहीं चाहिए, मैं पीऊँगा नहीं. नहीं पीऊँगा, मैंने पिया. Thank you. आप पिएंगे? नहीं, ठीक है. तो क्या मैं आगे बढ़ूँ सर? हाँ, so उस वजह से we are just happy, and I think it's just a matter of great fortune, good luck, that my first outing as a composer for a film with Vikram Ghosh as my partner received such respect. And Oscar जीत पाना एक बहुत लंबी प्रक्रिया है, और डैनी बॉयल जैसे प्रोड्यूसर्स, डायरेक्टर्स होने चाहिए, तब जाके आपको ऑस्कर्स मिलने की संभावना होती है. पर यहाँ तक भी पहुँचे, ये भगवान की मेहरबानी है.
Absolutely. So, Sonu, if you were to describe Priya in one word.
Pure.
Priya, if you were to describe yourself in one word.
Myself. Fun.
And if you were to describe Sonu in one word.
Divine.
थोड़ा तुम्हें लगता नहीं कि और थोड़ा चेंज हो गया, प्योर, डिवाइन, लाइट, सोल?
No, but he is like that. Like you were saying, I've written in my books, I've dedicated all my books to Sonu. It's like, his presence itself sorts everything out. I don't know if you felt that. There are some people who have to speak to you, tell you, talk to you, sing to you. And there are some people who are just there, and that's enough to solve everything. And he is like that.
Okay. Yeah. So, Sonu, how old were you when you had your first crush, and on whom?
I was 6 years old. Yeah, I'll tell you, I was 6 years old. There was a girl who was my principal's daughter. I was in second standard. No, 7 years old. So I was in second standard, she was in third standard, and I found her really cute. The schools, I can tell you everything. Her name was Anjana, and she was my teacher's, principal's daughter. And I was in second, she was in third standard. I used to study in the school which doesn't exist anymore. It was called Versova English School in 1980. She was my first crush.
Okay, and you know how well media trained he is, he didn't tell a second name. Otherwise, by this time,
Sharma.
Gone onto Facebook. Okay, so now we're going to do a little. So Sonu and Priya both earning a lot of money, so we're going to test their mathematical skills. If they don't answer, the question gets passed to the audience, and whoever gives an answer will win a prize. Okay, so please revise your tables. Priya, should start with you, because I already established your
mathematical skills.
Yeah, so tell me, Priya, what is 9 square divided by 9 divided by 3 square minus 1?
What?
Okay, I'm going to repeat the question only twice because it's a very simple question.
Step by step.
9 square divided by 9 divided by 3 square minus 1.
I know. 17.
Sonu?
No, it is 17. I'm a writer. I create stories. In my story, it's 17. Padho agli kitab.
Sonu, what's your story?
It's the lyrics of a Honey Singh song.
Anybody in the audience? See, we got smart guys. Okay, let's go to Mr. Chopra. We'll also ask him about his experience.
0. Huh? Oh, I remember you are the mathematics genius.
So I was right there, please.
Yeah. Okay, so this one's for you, okay? So this one's for you. Name any three numbers whose sum and product are the same. Any three numbers whose sum and product are the same.
Any three numbers?
Yeah, and I would like to remind you all that you have come here for a book launch and not for your maths exam, but still.
What is product?
Product वही multiplication.
Product is
multiplication, right? हाँ वही. हाँ but product भी.
See, I'm giving the media some bites, okay? So
One is 2, of course. एक तो 2 है. 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 is a 4. 2 multiplied by 2 is also 4.
Three numbers.
हाँ एक मैं बोल एक 2 बोला मैंने. One.
You're on track, huh?
हाँ like 3 plus.
Anybody
6.
from the audience? Ah,
Wow.
it's a smart audience, eh?
Look at it.
0 भी होगा एक तो 0 भी होगा.
Just take a look there.
Oh, look at that.
अबे रचित.
Can you please come here?
You tell us.
I just want to make you feel very privileged. Please, can you please come here in the front?
He actually raised his hand.
पता है.
Luckily, I'm an author.
आइए. हाँ.
अच्छा यहाँ से.
आइए.
इंडिया है शॉर्टकट ले सकते हैं.
Oh, how sweet. So, what is the answer?
0, 1, 2.
0, 1, 2.
Yeah, I mean, he's right. I mean,
Oh my God.
1 नहीं कर
if
रहा.
anything with 0 is 0, but he's on the right track.
मैंने भी 0 बोला.
1, 2, 3. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. 1 into 2 is 2. 2 into 3 is 6. So that's the answer.
You're a genius.
Let's.
Okay.
Yes.
What's your name?
I got the question wrong only.
Okay, excellent. Come.
No, he said it wrong.
Thank you. Come. Yeah, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause. Okay.
Wow.
Sudhir, can I get the post-its, please? Because we are going on to the second phase of our question-answer session. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to ask you a question. So you're going to answer the question about Priya's part, and Priya, you're going to answer the question about Sonu's part. You guys write your answers on the post-it, give it to me, and then we're going to see, how well you all know each other. Is the post-it? Are the post-its here?
You can write on my hand so I will know.
Yeah, okay. Sudhir is, yep. The mic is on. Skipping. Okay. Cool.
I didn't understand your question. What should I write on the post-it?
जो पूछेंगे.
Acha.
So you will get to know.
Okay.
Are you able to hear me? Is that okay? Check.
There's something wrong with the microphone.
Okay, cool. So, both Priya and Sonu have a pet dog?
Pet dog.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, Sonu, you're going to write Priya's pet's name, and Priya, you're going to write Sonu's pet's name. Let's see you guys know it.
You thought I would know his pet dog's name. I know his pet dog's pet name also.
From the time I've come here on the stage, I've stopped thinking. So, I really...
You wrote like this. You give me the pen. Oh, you're hiding it. It's my dog.
He wants it to be given to him straight away.
It's like the next pet gate that's going to happen here. Coco. Coco,
Coco is my dog.
that's Priya's, and Santa.
See?
So I think let's give a big round of applause. Okay, now there's something wrong with the mic, yeah? Check.
I think Kubra is doing that at the back.
Cobra. Okay. So, Priya, you write down Sonu's number,
Number what?
the mobile number, and Sonu, you write down Priya's number. Let's see if you can remember it.
I know the last 5 digits. They're all 0. Oops.
I can't remember.
I don't know your number.
Okay, so Priya gets this one, but you
I
remember?
know the 5
I
digits.
have the first is 9.
Okay, so she's given only 50% of the answer.
I know. I said.
She she's given only 50% of the answer, so you all can clap only with one hand because she's not given the right answers.
But India में जो वैसी चीज होती थी लोग वैसे एकदम they all are interested but they always slightly subdued or intimidated. You should create more energy with your presence and थोड़ा सा आप लोगों को उठना चाहिए. इंडिया में थोड़ा सब लोग चुप हो जाते हैं. यहाँ पे अगर हम लोग चीप बात शुरू करते हैं तो आप लोग सडनली बहुत जोर से हंसना शुरू कर दोगे जैसे AIB में किया था आप लोगों ने काफी. तो दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच आई ऑलवेज टेल पीपल इन इंडिया. बहुत कम इवन अवार्ड्स फंक्शंस इंडिया में लोग बहुत कम क्लैप करते हैं. बाहर के लोग ऑस्कर वगैरह में बहुत ज्यादा नहीं. मैं बोल रहा हूँ मतलब जस्ट ओपन अप एंजॉय द फीलिंग बिकॉज दिस समथिंग. मैं खुद ही इतना उत्सुक था प्रिया के साथ में बैठने के लिए. शी इज अ वेरी स्पेशल पर्सन. सो वेक अप एंड गिव अस द vibe that you should be giving.
And one of the reasons why I kept asking some mathematical questions is to basically demonstrate the IQ levels, so you can be very confident when you ask a question to them. They're not scientists, right? Okay, cool. So Priya, I believe your book was inspired by this urge to find what the purpose of life is, and once one gets into that mode, the journey can be very, very intense. Would you want to take us through how that journey was for you, and how did you emerge as a human being after that?
I'll try. Your questions are not very clear to me, but I'll tell you where the book came from. See, of late it's been a while. I've been working for 28 years, I think. Yeah, about 28 years. I started very early. He said I started speaking very early. So I've been working for about 28 years, and I reached a point where I began to question what more. Now I've reached a point where it's about numbers. Like for example, I have a nice house, I have a nice car. So what do I do more? By more work is another car, another house, and it's just expanding horizontally. And how big you evaluate people is how big they are horizontally, how many things they have. But my idea was that's not what I want anymore. I'm very happy with my car. Like my watchman tells me, "Ab gaadi badal lo." I don't understand. So, but I love my car. So. And I always have this feeling that where am I from? It couldn't be just this, that I wake up every morning and go to work. It couldn't be just this, like a repetition, I saw one of Tom Cruise's movie and the promo was live, die, repeat, So a day seems like that. But you know what? To even think of these questions, I'm sure you've also questioned this at some point in your life, but you can't have your foot in work or you can't have your foot in material goals and also think about that. So I took a back step very consciously, and let it be and see where have I been, where am I heading to, and that is where this book came from. And I have very consciously started to keep company of people who don't have these numbers, who don't have this horizontal growth. And I'm not talking that I've started hanging out with jobless people or people who are not working, but genuinely people who don't have the need for material things to define them or material things to create. I'll give you an example. I was in Belgium and I was doing a fire walk and my fire tender didn't show up. So I was sitting and I was on the phone, I need a fire tender, and this guy comes to me and says, I can build your fire. And I was like, huh? So he says, yeah, I can build a fire for you. And I said, all right. So he said, I'll get my wood, I'll get everything, don't worry. So, obviously at the back of my head, the question was, how much are you going to charge? So I asked him, how much money would I pay you? And he said, why would I charge you money? I'm only trying to help you. So the guy got his wood, he built my fire, and I was like so grateful to him. He never took money. He said, I'm trying to help you. And when people find you in a tight spot, that's when the rates go double or triple, or they try to, take advantage. And then he said, you must come to my house. I spoke to my wife about you. And I said, sure. So he took me to his house walking 22 kilometers. That man walks. He came to help me walking 22 kilometers. So I asked him, don't you have a car? He said, no, I can walk. the question didn't register to him, why would I have a car? I can walk. And I tell you, I had such a heavy purse. For the first time I realized how much baggage I'm carrying. You know, walk 22 kilometers with a handbag, and it was amazing. And these are the kind of people, you know, I appreciate, who are doing things because they can do, because they have the ability to do, not because they would get something. And when I left from there, he doesn't have a phone, by the way. I said, how will I reach you? So he said, you already know how. You already did. You know, so, and my purpose with the book is to go vertical, not horizontal, and that's a message I tried to give out.
Excellent. Would you want to share the name of that Belgian gentleman so that if we come across him, you know, I'll ensure that I don't meet him, because walking 22 kilometers from here is not a good idea.
Yeah, his name is Rick
Okay.
Martin.
So I think let's give it for Rick. I think it's a privilege to know that people like him are there in this world. Sonu, illustrious career. Okay, I think very few people have achieved what you have. Phases in your life where you thought that, you know, what's my purpose? What am I doing? Is this what I'm meant to do?
It's an ongoing process. I don't remember one particular day or year it happened, but I always knew that this is not it. I was just giving an interview today, and I was telling somebody, a journalist, and I just said, self-respect के लिए जेब भरी होनी चाहिए. पहले, you know, you can have a lot of self-respect, but at the same time you have nothing to support you. How do you take up causes? Today I can take up a cause because I know that I don't have to, you know, bow down in front of somebody just because I'm in need or I'm helpless. So I knew that I will have to first make myself strong. I'll have to first take myself to a place where I can look at myself with security, and anyways my needs are not too much, and even I mean all the watches that I wear have been given to me by people. I'm not brand conscious. I only dress up well when I have to go out, otherwise I'm okay with the jeans and white shirt or anything, you know, simple. So खर्चे तो इतने हैं लाइफ में, तो कैसे इसको किया जाए? So I waited for some time. I just realized that after 2005, 2006, I was mentally, financially, spiritually secured, and I was growing. So I realized I will stop working too much extensively. I will stop being the vocal machine that I have always been all these years, and I'll see to it that I will do the work that I want to do, lead the life that I want to lead, go to places, visit places that I've never been, look at life from a different perspective. Initial days of my exploration of myself happened in Himalayas. I went for a trek in Himalayas in Nanda Devi Biosphere, one of the toughest treks in the world. वहाँ से when I did a lot of things. I did a lot of yoga. In 2004, there was a time when I used to do about 5 hours of yoga every day in the morning, to the extent that I had to stop it for some time because I was completely changing as a human being. A lot of things happened. At that point I read autobiography of a yogi that helped, that kind of became like a catalyst in what my journey was. Then I surrounded myself with people who had a perspective other than, अरे इस फिल्म में मेरा गाना नहीं है, इसकी फिल्म बन रही है, यहाँ पे मेरा गाना होना चाहिए, ये उससे अच्छा नहीं गाया, इसमें मुझे काम करना था, वो नहीं मिला. I started hanging out with people who didn't have anything to do with my industry. They were curious people, had a sense of humor, like Sanjay. Sense of humor, he's cynical, but at the same time he is fun, and he has a different take on industry. So ऐसे लोग के साथ में उठना बैठना शुरू किया, and I really enjoy. I realized that you don't have to really be morose and always, you know, I'm so spiritual, and जरूरत नहीं है आपको इतना नाटक करने की. You can be fun, you can at the same time you can enjoy your life, and you can be happy, you can talk interesting things about people without being judgmental, without being negative. You can observe. Analysis is different. Like I analyze singers, ये कैसे गाता है, but when I do the mimicry, I don't look down upon them. It's something that I catch that thing. ये ऐसे गाता है, ये ऐसे गाता है, वो ऐसे गाता है. So you can have a sense of humor without being negative. So these are things which I gradually put into myself, because don't forget, I am very honest about the fact that I have been arrogant at times when I started, because I was just 18 years old. I just got success when I was 18, 19, and I started seeing the first money. So you can't suddenly overnight become an evolved person. You make your mistakes, as long as you learn from every mistake and you have the heart to accept it. मैंने भी गलतियां की हैं, कभी कभी मैंने बदतमीजी दिखाई है, कभी कभी मैंने ऐसी बातें बोल दी जो मुझे नहीं बोलनी चाहिए थी, कभी मैंने किसी की बुराई कर दी, कभी bitching की है. But the point is, do you stop somewhere or not, or you keep doing this on the pretext of being successful? So I made my own life. I just thought I'll make my own Sonu Nigam in my mind, and I'll then follow that thing. So उसको पता है ये तो मस्ती भी इतनी करती, मैं खूब मस्ती करता हूँ. ये तो बहुत उसकी तभी she is much more pure and she is much more sane than me. But I have a lot of fun also with my lots of other friends. At the same time, I don't go overboard.
So what we're going to do is we're going to make the official launch of the book with Sonu and Priya. Sudhir, can I request you to please assist us with this, and we'll continue the conversation after that? Yeah? Cool. Okay. Okay, Sudhir? Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I Will Go With You is the name of the book. So coming back to the thread of our discussion, Priya, why did you choose the setting of a flight for this book?
Well, the flight is the most interesting time for me. You don't have the phone, you have nothing, so, and life doesn't give you 2 hours or 9 hours or 6 hours, just with no distraction. And I like that. I'm sure you experienced that too.
Same thing. This for me too.
Yeah, and I'm a window girl. I like to sit by the window, and every time I sit, I'm always looking up. I've never looked down, so, and it always is a very liberating sense for me to be 35,000 feet in the air. And also, people sitting next to you, the passengers, the conversations are meaningful. Otherwise, people, they are talking to you and suddenly they're like, hi, on the phone. So you have somebody's undivided attention. I've made amazing friends on flights. And even if, I've not made friends, the conversation is meaningful. And sometimes I've never even asked what was your name. So many times you talk to people, you don't even know what the person's name is, don't have the contact details. Just that 2 hours of connection was enough for this lifetime, perhaps. So, and I also feel that the person sitting next to you could be whoever he is. But for the next 2 hours, our destinies are intertwined.
Absolutely.
For 2 hours, you're going where I'm going. So,
Yep.
yeah, so that's why I chose the flight.
So you've spent a large portion of your life traveling, taking flights. Any memorable flight that you remember, or any annoying flight that is deeply engraved in your memory? A marriage party flight?
Annoying, I still remember. There was some airlines and I forgot the name. नहीं मुझे पता है, मैं बताऊंगा नहीं. उसके मालिक का बेटा, I think, he was traveling with his wife and his kids. अभी से कुछ 12 साल पहले की बात है. And I was appalled to see how badly the kids are being brought up. They were misbehaving, they were throwing things, they were shouting at the air hostess, they were screaming at the top of their voices, and the mother was completely complacent about it. The father was absolutely okay about it. And you learn from these things. You then learn what not to do when you become a parent yourself. So we are extra cautious. When thankfully my son is also a very positive soul, but we keep a check on him as we are bringing up. We see to it that he doesn't fall prey to the superficial richness that people think they have probably, or they own. I want him to be a better person, a good person, and a fair person, considerate human being. So that was when flight I realized one of the basic rule of becoming a parent.
I'm from the corporate world, so for us, leadership, motivation, inspiration is very, very important. And throughout my career, you've always worked with bosses. The beauty about working with different bosses is that you always know what are the traits that you should never do with your team. And that's pretty much what you are trying to kind of highlight here. So yeah, we always script, but the positive side is that that when you become a boss, you will never do that. I think that's very, very important. So Priya, you want to do a little bit of testing in terms of how many people here have read your book?
Most of them have.